Welcome, welcome. No name Batman in the house. David Castro, Brothers in Arms. Another little, had an idea and I just needed to get it off my chest. We got Rolly from Ecuador. We got a good group tonight. Did a big old ride today and it was hot as Hades. But you know what? I pushed it 6.5 up, 6.5 down. And coming down is the reward. I'm telling you, man, it was hot though. At least 70% of it was in the shade. How's everybody doing tonight? You guys good? Now, I was thinking about this on the ride up. I was thinking, what are my predictions in the dating world? If you choose to date, if you choose to have short-term relationships, how do you do it? What's your choice? What's up, right? How is it different? Matt in the house, listening to his Slayer earlier today. My wallet, my choice. Doing well, brother. T-Talks in the house. Good to be here with brothers who get it. Don Matson from Wisconsin. Are you? That is spelled D-A-W-N. The only D-A-W's I knew in high school were ladies. Welcome to the chat. Dating predictions in 2021 with male and female relationships. My prediction is this. They will continue. The simps, the gumps, as Greg Adams is calling them, Forrest Gumps. They're not called gumps. They're not called simps anymore. The gumps will continue to seek after women, play the nice guy, be the Richie Cunningham, be the friend zone. Don's from Wisconsin, where the Happy Days is from. There's going to continue to be simping, gumping, white knighting, female worshiping. Now, what are those women going to do? They're going to have so much attention that it's literally they're only going to choose the top 3%, right? They're not going to go out the nice guys. They might go out for a dinner. It's happened to me. I was on the other side. This gal that I had seen a couple times last 2 years ago, she actually called me after she went out on this wonderful date from a guy, and all she was thinking about was hanging out with me, and she came over that night. But anyhow, that is the reality. Nice guys will continue to take out women and spend lots of money and lots of attention and lots of good for them if they're into that. That's simping. Call me coon in the house. But the reality is this. They're going to be in the same boat that they were in the beginning. The woman most likely is not going to be down with that guy. He'll be friend zoned very quickly. He'll be more of an attention branch for her. So when she needs someone, a shoulder to cry on, he'll be there to help her. All right. And that guy he's going to be waiting for his turn. Now, what are the other options in dating? My wallet hates women. Now, your wallet hates dating as well. But the reality is this. Yeah, you're going to see more Forrest Gumps. They're going to wait around as this gal, she hangs out with Chad Tyrone and everybody else, which is fine. That's how they choose. That's okay. We accept the fact that they have a inkling for the bad boys. If you ever listen to Tom Likas, check him out. Tom Likas talks about women that are attracted, not all women. So any women listen to me. I'm not saying every single one. I'm saying a lot of women are attracted to the bad boys, the liars, the thieves, the drunks, the drug addicts, the guys that get in fights. They like that. They see a protector behind it. They don't like the Poindexter. So check out some Tom Likas talking points as he talks about why interesting women date really crappy bad boys. And then they realize 3 months into it, this guy's a total idiot. He's not going anywhere, and they fall back, right? Lord Spawn is in the house. SC So Social, No More Mr. Nice Guy. Great book by Robert Glover. Tinder just put out new swipe data. Women are now saying no to 95% of men. Wow. It looks doomed, guys. Now, Let's talk about dating apps. We've talked about it over. I've done videos on dating apps. The reality is this: you could be a very attractive looking guy, and to get game on dating apps it's difficult. I mean, I'll tell you why. Women have so many options. I've seen the phones of girls that have shown me 400 to 600 messages from guys. It's a full-time job just to answer them. And what makes them different from the next guy? So what happens? The guy sends her a text or a message. Hey, you look great. I like that picture. Was that taken in Mexico? Blah, blah, blah. Identify something in the photo. She doesn't respond. And guess what? His ego drops. What did I do wrong? Why doesn't she like me? Is there somebody else? And so that's what's happening to most men. There's an ego attachment when they don't friggin' respond. What's the name of the guy that you're going after for saying dating is a waste of time? What's the name of the guy they're going after for saying dating is a waste of time? It's not funny. I think dating's a waste of time on apps. Are you talking about Matt? It's not funny. I predict more men will walk away, says Mr. Batman. Call me Coon. Poindexter, the cartoon was nuts. Yes, Poindexter. Okay? You're still going to have women that are going to want to release and exercise their desires with men. You're going to see a lot of these gals, especially the younger gals, looking to get more attention off different TikToks, Instagrams, and so forth. I've seen a bunch. The last time I actually did my experiment again a couple months ago, and how many girls are wanting guys to go and Snapchat them, Instagram them, follow them. It's crazy. They're creating a database of simps, right? Black Pill Neo, being a monk in your 20s is not easy, especially as an atheist. Having friends helps with battling loneliness and boredom. Well, your best friendships are going to be male friendships. Your best success is going to be hanging out with guys that are in your sort of style, pushing each other along. Join clubs, play on some pickup basketball games. That's what my son does. He meets a lot of guys and they talk about it. 20-year-old kids are not getting a lot of women today. A lot of women in their age group are looking for 30-year-olds. They think that they're worth a billionaire. And that's a sad delusion in reality right now. A lot of these gals think they can get with a hotshot.com guy or a software developer, a Bitcoin, entrepreneur, or what have you. That's what they're thinking. That's what they deserve. That's what Oprah and Ellen DeGeneres and everybody else have told them that they can get. Girl, you're worth it. You go, girl. Right? My choice is you can see why do jails have too much women bringing things to prisoners. Exactly. Tom Leykis talks about it. Tom Leykis said, if you're a drunk, even better. You'll get even more poon. If you're a drug addict, if you don't show up, if you're a total a-hole. And it's true. Not all women are like that. Not all women, but a lot of women like the project. They want to mold that person like clay. They want to fix part of that. I've seen it with my sister is like that. And we grew up in a Christian household. I predict men who are gump will share these fellas and act like they're in a real relationship. I called it, Beto Zeta calling it for you. It's not funny, just saw it. His name is Chad Johnson. Tell us about Chad. Men are the prize and women will pay for them, my words of wisdom. Well, you're seeing now women are proposing to men. Everything's flipped. Because now, I see, this is what I think. A lot of men were going after women. They gave them a lot of attention. They realized they weren't getting anything in return. So a lot of these guys leave the plantation and say, you know what, I'm not dating anymore. I don't want to be involved. Most of their friends aren't dating. If they do date, they're probably getting hooked up or set up by somebody. And then they're realizing, and these women are realizing that these guys are not seeking them. So they've got to flip the script. And now they've got to pursue if they want the person. And then now they're asking men's hand in marriage, which I think is weird, but go figure. That is the reality. Everything is flip-flopping to the other. Guys are deciding it's not worth it. My son's like, Dad, I'm done dating. He's 20 years old. I go, good, stack money. Wait till you're 30. You'll see. The new boyfriend for the blue pill world will be the orbiter. Can you wait until they have a dating app? It's called the Orbiter. These women just get on just for orbiters. That would be a good idea for making money. An attention-seeking app where just orbiters worship. Well, actually there is one, OnlyFans. But this one would be free. Yet all these bad influencers are turning out to be frauds. Call me coon. You might be right. So that is a prediction of dating. Will there still be opportunities to hook up? Yes. The risk and the rewards, you got to weigh them out. There will be opportunities. I hear all these predictions that are these statistics that, what is it? 80% of all women seek the top 20% of all men, and out of the top 20%, only 11% or 13%, something like that, are over 6 foot tall. And just think, out of all those guys that are over 6 foot tall, how many are successful? How many are white knights? How many are beta simps? How many are, Chad and Tyrones? It just, again, the pool continues to drop. Men just, I don't, then follow your dream. There you go, brother. Lord Spawn, 95% of the women on Tinder are saying no. Or 5%, women are saying no to 95% on Tinder to the men. Crazy. There will be deadbeat dads than ever before. Women don't know what the hell they want. They don't. Now, we don't hate them for it. We just understand it. They have so much attention. That is the problem with dating. There's so much attention. That is why I said, I did that video on dating, and a couple gals responded and said, it's creepy to meet somebody in person. That's your best odds. If you really think about it, if you want to date, short-term only, 4 to 6 weeks, whatever, your best opportunity is an in-person connection, a community, because they're getting all that crap online anyways. You're the guy that stands out at a grocery store or a Starbucks or an auto center where they're getting their car fixed, or on a mountain where you're mountain biking or hiking. It's crazy. You're absolutely right, AR. You're going to see that. T-Tox, I wonder if women who propose are planning to be the provider or if they're going to get the traditional free ride. I'm going to go with traditional free ride. My sister proposed to her husband. My second sister. He married her, white knight. My mom said he was no Prince Charming when she met him. So there you go. And she's not a princess either. But I love her. 80-20 is in the past now, says Lord Spawn. You might be right, and I'm sure you are. Cyberzoni is in the house. Good to see you. Hello to you. I call beta orbiters spacemen. They sit staring in space just waiting for their crush to fall in love with them. Reminds me of my sister in high school. She would wait around the phone for that guy to call her. She'd just sit there waiting. When's he going to call? When's he going to call? When's he going to call? And I think a lot of these guys are sitting around looking at their phone. When's he going to text? When's he going to text? He was such an ass. I need help moving my couch. I'll be over there in 3 minutes. They are proposing while planning to divorce because nothing but the initiation has changed. Exactly. Very well said. The initiation has changed. That's why I don't chase women, only money. I bet your ROI is going to be through the roof if you follow that paradigm right there, brother. Women are desperate. I think women just don't know what they want. The majority of women have so much attention, they don't know which way to go because they're so indoctrinated with so many guys wanting them, desiring them, doing anything to get them. They don't know. They can't pick. It's like going to the Cheesecake Factory. You go to the cheese, what do they have, 1,000 items on the menu? You just look at it and you just get confused. And then you end up saying, just bring me a burger. Because there's so many options. That is what I think modern dating is to women today. There's too many options. I wonder if jewelry business can feel the effect of MGTOW, says Andrew. I think you're right. You're seeing a lot. You know what I'm also seeing, Andrew Briggs? A lot of these silicone rubber rings. How is a jewelry business making money off a $30 damn rubber ring? The new, what is the generation now that's, in their 20s or 30s? They're not into diamonds and rings anymore. That's the older generation, my Generation X and everybody else. A lot of rings are not going down. People are buying wooden rings and silver rings because they're realizing, you know what? They might subconsciously be realizing that shit. I'm not going to spend $30,000 on a ring because the odds of me getting divorced are 60 to 70% at this point. Well said. California women expect to be approached every time. Right now, I'm focused on TIG stick welding. Good for you. Skateboarding is fun, just not a great income source. Even for pros. I knew pros that were skaters, and there's only a very few handful of pros that make the big money. There's like 10 of them. You can name them. Ryan Sheckler, P-Rod, Tony Hawk, and he's 52. Tony's a cool guy. Very interesting, though. But anyhow, there's only, it's like in the NBA. How many guys are making the big $100 million paychecks? 15. The rest are making, 20 mil, right? Women often go treasure hunting in your phone or around your job, just looking for a reason to leave you. It's often when they start acting up, guys. Pay attention. Well said. Well said, Kalmi-kun. Too many choices, too many options. Dating today is like going to the Cheesecake Factory. That's it. Mysterio back in the house, looking sharp and on point. That's what I come here. Take it away from my life like a great rock and roll riff. There you go. Good to have you, brother. I wish all jewelers were out of business, wedding dress places too. I think I heard this article, and I don't know if it's propaganda, but they're saying the wedding business is on the uptick just because of this COVID crap. But I can't imagine who's getting married. Oh, I can. Guess who it is? It's Steven the Simp. He's going to marry Kara that rode the CC for 5 years and pregnant by Chad. That's who's getting married. And I hope it works out. Women want something they can't have. If you're an ass, they love you. Yes, listen to Tom Likas. Even women will call in and say, I love it when my guy gives me backhanded compliments. You hear that women have finally exceeded men for alcohol consumption related, seem strong and independent is really working for them when it means facing masculine levels of stress. Well, their bodies are not equipped like ours, that's for sure. And they're seeing it. 35-year-olds kidney failure or liver failure. Is it true? It is true. Women are strong and independent, says Rob Fitz. Thank you, feminism, for my freedom. We got to thank feminism. We got to thank social media. We got to thank even divorce courts for what they are doing for helping men wake up and realize, put ourselves central to our life. We are the center most important point in our life. If we give it to somebody else, we now suffer. And we should thank it. We should thank feminism for basically exposing the delusion. Now we don't have to play in it anymore. We can go play in our own sandbox and have more fun. It is an illusion thinking a woman will make you happy. Don't fall for it. You were born into this world alone. Just live your life and be happy with it, says James Miller. Solid words of wisdom. Somebody said, you're going to die alone if you don't get married. And I told her exactly what James said. I was born alone. And you close your last eyelids alone. What do you think the Shakespeare's take on love? That would be a good topic. Shakespeare, what I like about Shakespeare is he said that every part of your life is an act. And everybody that appears in your act is just an actor who you gave subconscious a script to. They're playing out a role in your life. So if you take that Shakespearean idea, I would have to say that the wife that I married played a role for me. Now, did it suck going through that and getting divorced and losing half the stuff? Yes, but she did open my eyes and she was my greatest teacher. And I can say that with ease. She taught me feminist or female nature, upfront and personal. She gave me great kids, but I learned something. I became aware. And if I hadn't gone through that, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have, I don't know. I was 30 pounds heavier the day I got divorced. I'm slimmed up. I'm back to high school weight. I'm riding well. I'm successful. And it's just, life has been great. And I couldn't have gotten to this point without being woken up. She woke me up. So maybe she was part of my world. Sucks. Oh, and I had some strong emotions towards her. I don't really talk to her. We just talk about the kids. But again, look at that person as the greatest teacher of your life. They woke you up. Simps now buying iPhone to get cocky, ending the day. Yep. A woman without an iPhone is an interesting gal. Most women have iPhones. I'd much rather be at a rib joint than at the Cheesecake Factory. Me too. That you know what you're getting, right? Korean short ribs are my favorite. Seems like women have more fun with dating than men do. Well, they get taken. I mean, think about it. They get to go out. Guy gets to take them to dinner, and basically they're on a pedestal. Of course they're having more fun. The guy's got more anxiety because he doesn't know what to say or do, and he's trying to win so many points and rewards with her, and he doesn't know what she's thinking, and his anxiety's going through the roof, and so forth. But you're absolutely right, Mysterio. They do have more fun, I think. Women can't face masculine levels of stress literally because of testosterone. I would agree. That's proven. Are you teaching your son about the red pill? He's understanding it, but I'm doing it in a way that just wakes him up. Like, how come these women, these 20-year-olds aren't dating you? Oh, Dad, they want all these rich guys. What does that tell you? You know what he told me? Women are gold diggers. I said, well, not all women are gold diggers. But if you're seeing that at age 20, remember that. Remember that women seek resources and provisions. They love differently than a man. A man seeks a fertile, loving, nurturing woman that's submissive. Don't get all mad at me. Not submissive in the sense that they're slaves, but submissive in the sense that she respects her husband. Men are built from steel. Women are built from balsa wood. Easily chipped away. Well said. Macbeth Act 3-ish, wasn't that? I believe so. Prison is being with a woman locked into a family and being a mule horse, unappreciated. I think the unappreciation was probably, if you would ask me, like, what happened? Like, what was the worst part of being married? Just the lack of appreciation. And there was times that I probably didn't appreciate her, but it was just, I always felt like a walking 16-digit plastic card. You know what I mean? I don't think modern women are long-term thinkers regarding relationships today. I would agree with that statement. I think it's so easy to monkey branch and to get to the next bigger and better option. Why not? They have so many orbiters. The moment you screw up, bam, 10 messages to the 10 top tier orbiters. And now she gets to decide when she gets to go out. Having freedom from a relationship has lots of advantages. 100% they do. There's nothing wrong about being by yourself. All of the world's a stage. All the men and women merely players. They have their exits and entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. His act being 7, 8. I would agree with that 100%. I think people that come into our lives are there with their own exit and entrance. Friends have come in and out of my life. I've learned something from them. You know, most people are basically a link in the chain of your good, if you think about it. If you look at it like that, they taught you something. Better not offend them, says Maud Max. Good to have you. When I see you on your path here, helping men, women understand gender, you come off as a powerful Jedi. No lightsaber needed, but you can have one if you want. What color for you? Lime green. I told you that story when I was 5 years old and I went to Star Wars. Still remember that scene in the trash compactor with that snake. It scared the living dickens out of me. More like particle board, says call me coon. Or a piece of furniture from IKEA. The moment you screw it in, it falls apart. They can't wait for you to screw up. That's funny. I just said the more you screw it in, the more it falls apart. You're absolutely right, Mod Max. Good for you. Garuda Ghost, what's up to you? To have you, we need to learn who the nobodies that enter and leave versus the somebodies that come to stay. Everyone's welcome in this chat, as long as they're respectful. All points of view are considered. Not all are agreed, but everyone is welcome. Men and women, blue pill, black pill, red pill, white pill, feminist, you name it. We are not hating on anybody. We are understanding how to create an amazing life by putting our purpose center at the center console, right? IKEA, man, I won't even go to IKEA. Well, you know what IKEA is good for? Swedish meatballs and chocolate and pots and pans, because you know what you're getting. I still have my IKEA pot that I make spaghetti and pasta in. Still works great. Other than that, if you buy a futon, it typically will break. All the dressers, they look nice, but they're not made out of really quality woods. It's particle board. Or it's the MDF. I think they call it MDF. Cardboard with glue. I remember we put one together for my daughter. I'm putting the Allen wrench screws in it. The damn thing broke, and I missed like 6 or 7 different pieces. I'm at hell with this, and I went back and I got my dresser from when I grew up, painted it, put some new hardware on it, still working 40 years later. Ian Blades, what's up to you? Women don't need men for protection and provision. We are disposable. There are always some simp looking to cater to a woman's selfish desires. The rules have changed. Don't play. Those might be very wise words, my friend. Disposable relationships is the name of the game in 2021 and beyond. If you believe that she is going to love you as you love her, you might want to rethink that, because our brains love differently. Women get bored, I think, a lot quicker now. And men cater and pedestalize that girl, so she ends up not liking you because she's disrespecting you, because you're not holding masculinity. You're boring the hell out of her. You're putting her center up on a pedestal. She doesn't subconsciously want to be on a pedestal, or consciously. She wants to be a complement of your life. And prove me wrong. When you put a woman center of their life, they know subconsciously and biologically that that's not your purpose. So they begin to despise you for it. Why wouldn't they? So we're here talking about putting ourselves on the pedestal. Diversity of thought, perspective, and opinion is part of chasing excellence. I would agree. Those that are feeling lonely or alone, you got to get out. You got to move energy. We're an energetic universe. We're an energetic group of people. Mysterio, it's interesting that on your channel, we have yet to have major discourse and have not banned anyone. It's a miracle. Can't say the same on other content creators. There's been a couple folks that have come on and, that have gotten upset. But hey, as long as you're respectful, we'll have discourse, right? Well said, Mysterio. IKEA has a nice cafeteria. Best thing to get there is Swedish meatballs. Their food courts are pretty epic and cheap. Where else can you eat for $3? Whopper Wednesday at Burger King, it's $1, and you get some fries, value fries, another $1. So there you go. Guess you can go to Burger, but Swedish meatballs are pretty good at IKEA. T-Tox, it's a damn shame what feminists have done to destroy the traditional male and female dynamic. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that the train of thought was like, there was a disrespect when it began, right? We're going to disrespect the man is bad and evil and blah, 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 and we need to show him that we're just the same. We're all equal in the eyes of God, but we're not equal from a gender role. We're not equal from there is a stronger and a weaker sex, biologically proven and physical. There's also a stronger and weaker sex when it comes to logical and emotional. There's also a sex that loves to create and build and protect. There's also a sex that loves to nurture, caretake, birth, and love their offspring. And we love that. Why can't we have beautiful women that want to play the role as the man wants to play the role? What woman would want a man just to be a complete simp? What woman would want a man to not work and just lay around and be lazy and have no desire in life? A woman is turned on by a confident man that seeks his purpose. That is part of his biology. You are absolutely right. Marcella N. from Utah County. I only date conservative, old-fashioned men. That makes a big difference, let me tell you. From your perspective, are they hard to find? Because there's a lot of guys that I even know that supposedly, but from the gals that I've hung out with, a lot of guys in their 50s, 40s act very feminine in how they respond, they argue. If the girl doesn't text back, they get butthurt. Do you find that? And if you find these old-fashioned guys, where do you find them? Church. Do you see the new marriage rates decreasing further in 10 to 15 years? I think so. I think so, Andrew. I don't think they're going to be as big. I don't think it's going to be like 50% less. You're seeing articles that the marriage rate has been declining, but you also see articles that it's increasing because of COVID. Who knows what's really true? The only way you can look at that is by watching like the wedding business. Is it going up? Like the jewelry. Are there any jewelers? Is Jared Jeweler on the stock exchange or Kay Jeweler? If you're looking at their numbers, I would see that as a strong barometer of where it's going. Recon plane will find them trying so hard not to eat carbs. Don't beat yourself up. Best thing you could do, fast, eat a nice ribeye or T-bone, some asparagus, tons of water, go for a day. Next day, have a piece of bread. Who cares? A moderation. How can they say the divorce rate is 50%? At least 9 out of 10 of the men I know are divorced at least once, says James Miller. I agree. I don't think it's 50. I think it's 75%. And I think just physically. And I think the emotional, mental, I think there's so many sexless marriages now that a lot of these guys just aren't physically divorced. That's my personal belief, because 7 to 8 of my friends out of 10 are divorced. Well said, James. Feminism is just the puppet of the same asshats to destroy the black family. Now they are after the white family. Yes. Greg Adams talked about the communita and how it just has not, that community has, been destroyed. And, the liberal Democrat feminists keep that narrative. It's sad. I see it hitting a low single digit. Lord Spawn, you might be right. The opening scene in the movie Roger Dodger explains how technology has changed dynamics. Women don't need us anymore. They don't. Nor do we need women. Right? Men, the reality is men can go on a website and take care of themselves. And women have a phone and they get a lot of attention from men, which is very important for women, attention. Not all women, but the majority of women I have met, they love attention. Coming every which way. In the morning from 3 guys. In the evening. At lunch. On the weekends. Hey, baby. Good morning, sunshine. I've never sent one emoji ever. Just for teenagers and women. I saw marriage rates were at 6.5 per 1,000 people going down. It's interesting news. Interesting news. Lay off sugars and drink water, says Call Me Coon. Sugar is a drug. Now, I'm also of the moderation. If you take care of yourself physically, eat as healthy as you can, it's all right to have a piece of cake. Or a Snickers bar. But watch the sugar intake. I agree with you 100%. Dating is going to be like this. A woman is more leaning on the man's game plan. Laying it down again, Mysterio. Bobby Malhi, if you exclude senior citizens, the divorce rate, there you go. I would agree. And how many, I'm not an anti-marriage or pro-divorce. If you can make it work, great. If you can love on each other the way each of you need each other from a gender role perspective, I love it. Show me more happy marriages. But the reality is that's not the way it's going. The reality in the last 10 years, it has gone through the roof with divorce. The attention with the phone and technology has accelerated broken relationships and disposable relationships. And women know it, and so do men. I wish there was a way to fix it. I wish you could go out and find a true love that would sit with you forever and respect. Each person respects each other. Is it risky? Do the rewards come? Is the return on investment there? And I have to say, I haven't seen that. It seems more risky. Well said, Bobby. Women still do need us to invent, build, and maintain all the shit they use in their daily lives. Kevin Samuels said that the other day at a gala, and he says, you know what? When was the last time you saw an all-woman crew roofing your house? You know the guys that came and roofed my house a couple weeks ago? All men. Guy that fixed my heater, man. The dispatcher was a woman, very nice gal, but the guy that came that was certified in HVAC was a man. When I get my tires rotated, I don't see any woman in the shop. They're up front as a cashier or a scheduler, but I don't find them in the back shop. The guys I see on the line fixing the telephone wires or out in the winter, the cold, when the power lines go out, are men. Now, are we sexist in the fact? No, that's just what men do. They do different jobs. And those jobs build, invent, and maintain the world. So you're not saying anything that's sexist. You're telling the truth. The only thing men need women for is babies. When the artificial one becomes viable, we won't need them for anything at all. And it'll be interesting if there's going to be an artificial womb. Lord Spawn. Marcella, yes, I find them at church. Guys my age are sadly becoming more and more feminine. Guys, I can't remember how old you are. But that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of feminine thinking men that literally have been, and it's basically society. It's basically going through Sunday school. Most of the teachers in Sunday school were women. Most of your teachers from elementary through junior high and high school are women. I would say 80% are women. You're raised by a mother who's a woman while your dad is at work. So there's a lot of feminine leadership within your life, feminine atmosphere for men. And we're seeing that, back before, if you read No More Mr. Nice Guy by Robert Glover, he talks about back in the 20s and 30s, at 7th grade, the boy would leave the house and go work in the fields with his father. And he was around other guys with their kids and so forth. There's a masculine shift. And when the factories came, men would leave the house and work in the factory, and women would raise and blah, blah, blah. And you started beginning to see a shift in the thinking and mental aptitude of men. Hence, more on the feminine thinking side. Well said. Andrew Briggs, on a Survivor episode, one time they put the men against the women were slaughtered, and actually asked the men's team for help. That's not a surprise. Not a surprise at all, Andrew. Do you think your kids were more of a factor of you staying with your ex more than your personal relationship with each other? Did you really want to have kids? Yes, I want to have kids. No. In between the time we got married, I wanted to be with her because of her. When the divorce hit, I tried to save it just because I did not want my kids going back and forth, having 2 rooms, 2 houses, 2 Christmases, 2 vacations, 2 this, 2 that. Men invent, repair, and conquer. Very well said, Mr. Cyber. Ian Blades, women can pay for those goods and services. You're going to be seeing that, I think. I see my buddy DT going along with everything his fiance wants, and he just comes off as a simp in a bad way. She could go bad at any point, even if they have bio kids together. I told you about my buddy that's been married, and he keeps going back. He keeps going back thinking if he's nicer and nicer, and he gives her more and more, it's going to get better. Wrong thinking. See you later, Matt. Wrong thinking. If you think being nicer and nicer and giving more and more is going to get you more respect or tail in the bedroom or love, you are absolutely mistaken. That bus has left. But yet guys live in the fantasy. Guys live in the dating fantasy. I'm going to find that next one. That next wife, she's going to be great. Only for him to end up at the end of the night on a Thursday night and the gal canceled on Friday. So he feels bad about himself. That's a problem. Men went to the factories, then to the bars to drink, then home. Women hated that bar stop, so voted for prohibition. 100%. I have another name for blue pill simp. I call them pimple simps. Oh, I like that. David Castro. Pimple simps. The why in your girl is silent. 100%. Yeah, you know what? You can't fix stupid. And eventually, it's maybe in this life, he's going to realize if she has another affair, I'm going to have to pull him aside and say, come on, dude. You've tried everything. Your heart's broken. You're in the palm of her hand. She treats you like crap. And you still think being nice to her is going to make her happy. Wrong, wrong, wrong. We are in the digital age. The industrial age is side-swiped. I would agree with that. G.I. Joe or Transformers? G.I. Joe. I had a G.I. Joe doll when I was, and had the backpack, and you could pull the, I don't know, I was like 6 or 7. Loved that damn thing. Played Army with my brother. Heck yeah. Transformers. Optimus Prime. I went to a Dollar Tree with nothing but male employees. They were 100 times more efficient than a typical female employee, laughing my ass off. Recon plane. That's kind of rare to see all men in the Dollar Tree. But hey, we just think different. That's okay. Women cancel and ghost men over 9 out of 10 times. You are 100% right. One-itis is this. One-itis is a disease, and it's happening all over. I have talked to gals that have told me the first hour into a date that they meet a guy, they are future planning. I'm getting off the dating sites. I really like you. Let's see where it goes. And these chicks just get like scared as hell. They're like, man. And then there's guys like me. I was just like, what are you looking for? And I'm like, nothing. I'm really looking for no LTR, no marriage, no cohab. I don't believe in love. All those books that are written are stupid. And our brains are different. Guess who they're going home with at the end of the night? And I tell these guys, it's like, it's not hard. You just be real. I mean, I live the way I talk. You know, I got neighbors who are like, oh, you hate women. I go, I never said I hated women. I hate feminists. That's a woman. Actually, I hate feminism. What it's done to them. I'm not a fan of, but you don't want to get married. You hate women. They say I don't. This is the feminine mind that Marcel is talking about. He ran into a relationship, my neighbor, literally a week after his lady broke up, and she was a 42-year-old with a grandkid. Totally extracting resources from him. He jumps in a new relationship. Well, you don't want to get married, so you hate women. No, that's not what I said. I said I'm not getting married because there's no ROI in today's world. It's very rare. If a great woman, 1% to 2% showed up, maybe I changed my mind, but I haven't found that well. So bring me a very quality, awesome woman that fits in that 1% to 2%, and I'll rethink it. But it's funny, even a man is shaming the rad. Hey, I hate women because I don't want an LTR. No, I understand what I will get. And it's very rare with the majority of women today. Jordan, and in the house, she is 17 and her parents threatened a restraining order. She kept me a secret. We were still together. She stopped giving me attention on the phone. I had to break up with her. I am 19. You probably dodged a bullet, my friend. You know? 17-year-old girls, they're like 5-year-olds. I mean, they haven't really matured. Now, the issue is, that's it, Mr. Brad, you are G.I. Joe. Oh, that's funny. The issue is, plus she was hanging around other guys. I didn't regret breaking up. Yeah, and she's going to continue to do that. She's on a path of attention. Women seek attention. You know, when a woman turns around 12, 13, it's when their bodies begin to change. They get into that young women. They start getting attention from men. And I think their logical progression stops. And the progression with them is the emotional connection they get from the attention and validation from men. That's why they look good. That's why they want to look better. That's why they try to be very girly feminine, putting on makeup, because they're getting attention from men. It's that classic, go to your high school reunion, your 30th, and see all the ugly ducklings turned into hot chicks. because they realized nobody was paying attention to them. So they graduated school, they got a degree, and now later in life, when all the other gals have hit the wall, they had no idea that they were attractive, and they look better. I met a couple at my graduation that were like, "Oh my God, I had no idea." Well, what's your name again? Don Sargent? Damn. Yeah, I was more into, arts and theater. No one knew who this chick was. She wasn't that attractive, but she figured out later, and that's what happened. So she was able to have a decent life. She got married and her husband died. I think he was killed in a logging accident on the Oregon coast. He was a logger or a manager of logging or something. A tree fell on him. But nice gal. And, some of these gals, when they find out when they're 12 and 13 that they get a lot of attention, that's when it stops. The emotional growth stops. So good for you, Jordan. Let her go on that path. See you later, Call Me Coon. Hit the like. Thanks for doing what you do, Rad. Your message is making a big difference in my life. Good to have you here. And I appreciate everybody that contributes and gives me opportunity to hear your side of the story. This is a collective group of people that are helping each other find ways to navigate and to not be actors in other people's shit show. Right? I don't want to be an actor in some goddamn shit show. So that is the reality. I got to charge my phone here. So that's why we're here. And to date in today's modern world, to really date, like I'm talking dating to find a relationship, we are on a path of disposability. So good luck. And if you do find one, please let me know. Would love to showcase that and say, hey, there still exists. Now, I've always said 1% to 2% of women are good and fine and decent. But the majority are raised in an Oprah world, a Kim Kardashian world. You know who screwed up everything? It's not Oprah. It's that damn Kardashian. How did they get famous? For taking pictures and removing ribs out of their stomach so they can have that waist that's like this big. That has shown girls today that they have to look like that. I know girls in their 40s getting Brazilian butt lifts because of the Kardashian. This one gal wanted to take 2 ribs out so she could have a small waist. Not good. We are socialized into one-itis as men. Women are socialized with abundance. It really should be the other way. I think that's well said. Women seek abundance and resources, and they should. Why would you get with a guy that makes nothing? You need a guy that protects you and take care of you and provide. And we as men want to believe in that, hey, I got my woman, she's going to stand by me. And that's the dream we all have. But the reality, based on circumstances, might not be that way and has a huge... the reality is it's probably not going to last. That's the cold hard truth. Did you see Hammerhand's vid about getting hit up by an ex? She's in her 40s but sounded like a 12-year-old playing house again. No, but I'll check it out. I like Hammerhand. He's good. There's no way male and females in high school can make it. All my friends and acquaintances got divorced. Most of my friends are divorced. I mean, from good Christian backgrounds. Rad, you are right about late bloomers. I was an ugly duckling. Never got attention from guys in my teens. At 24, whole different story. Well, I mean, the fact that you're sitting here and listening to a chat like this means you didn't spend your time in high school emotionally invested into men's or boys' attention. You probably put it into other areas. Maybe you were into sports or piano or learning or graduating. And so that emotion didn't make you into a crazy emotional basket case because the attention wasn't as prevalent to you as it was to others. So that's probably why you and Lisa and Suzanne are here, because there's value in that. I mean, I had glasses till I was a junior in high school. Big old glasses. I got contacts as a senior, and the whole world changed. But anyhow, but I didn't let that stop me. But the reality is this: you spent your time not focused on receiving the attention of men, and that's paid off. Women stop maturing when they become sexually attractive. They can use their sexuality to manipulate men, which stunts their growth. That is 100%, Ian. And it goes by, I got a buddy my age. When he was 14, he was getting hit on by 17-year-olds and seniors, and he started playing just women were throwing themselves out. He was the type that grew a beard in like third grade. He's very attractive, total like alpha G.I. Joe. And all these chicks loved him. In ninth grade, he had a senior girlfriend. And in 10th grade, he said he had to wait till he was 15. He started having sex at 15. But it stunted his emotional growth. And now he's lazy as hell. He's lazy because he didn't push himself to become a better student, a better athlete, to get to college. He basically put himself, he was the exact opposite of the girl that seeks attention. He was seeking attention from women. And it's done in his growth. I mean, still to this day. He married a gal, but I don't think he's very happy. But he's lazy. He didn't have to prove anything in high school. Women were throwing themselves at him. Same sort of scenario. Hammer's ex is a total, I've seen some of his videos. What a tweaker, that woman. Women stop maturing when they learn sex appeal overrides the need to develop a personality. There you go. Well said. That's what we're talking about. Marriage should be 30 or age up close to it if it comes to it. I would agree. I think there should be a law that says no marriage till 30. Tammy Wynette's song, Stand By Your Men, should be played to females at birth. It's a great song. Great song, Mysterio. Christianity is not only responsible for the standards of morality, but have led the woman's liberation and divorce rates. I would agree, Joshua. Be very, very leery of Christian women. I have seen more divorces in Christian. It's funny because in Oregon, we had a bunch of friends. They're still married. They weren't of the same religion, and all the people of our religion got divorced. Crazy. My wallet, my choice would require youth and fertility. Men shouldn't even consider women over 21 for marriage at all. Over 21 is for entertainment purposes only. Rad, FYI, got LASIK at age 50. My 2 girls did it. It is fantastic. I need to get LASIK, but I'm too scared of that damn cutting in my eye. My sister got it. She said she sees halos. But it's probably better now, right? DKS 13827. Barely good tennis. I never got attention from women. That's why I worked on myself, graduated, and focused on stacking cash. Braveheart. We love Mel Gibson and Braveheart. Show your boys Braveheart, Rocky, or your brothers, your younger brothers, or Rocky. Have a great weekend with some guys. Watch Rambo and Rocky and Braveheart. That's the story, Morning Glory. What years do you think you were out of shape and not on purpose? I can't see you not being that way at all. You always have been this way. You did not become this way, Crimson Castle. I think, a lot of it, I started getting in shape at the end of my marriage, maybe 5 years before it ended. But there was a time when it was tough raising 2 little kids, 2.5 years apart. And she probably gained 10, 15 pounds. I probably gained 25. And then I started losing it. But yeah, there's a period of time. 8 o'clock, man, we put a pizza, we'd order pizza and, work all day and just, we run ragged. It never kind of hampered like what I could do. I was still doing stuff, but I was in my early 30s. So 33, then we had a third kid and things were a little bit better, but still those first 2, when they're 2.5 and 0, that's a lot of work, my brother. What does Hammerhead's ex look like? I would love to see Thomas Philpott in the house. Good to have you, brother. My chat is all wonked up because it's not set to live. Well, you got to put it to live. No halos for me. That's good to know. Did you get LASIK or what's the other one? LASIK or PRK, right? What was your relationship with your grandfather like with your sisters? My grandfather's amazing. Died at almost 104 2 years ago. He was great. Both of them. My mom's dad, and they never got divorced. My sisters loved my grandfathers. Yeah. So it was good. I've got only one sister that's got divorced. Marriage should be renewable leases. There is no expiration date for a marriage license. Think about that. Lord Spawn, I hate that the gyms are closed. Where are they closed? They're closed out. I mean, nobody wears masks anymore. I mean, everything's open. Concerts are open. Where are you at, Lord? I can't remember. You know who is a great movie star? Burt Reynolds, Smoking the Bandit. Attaboy. Attaboy, Mysterio. Going old school. We're going back to the days of the good, the bad, and the ugly. America seems to be heading in a very bad place. It doesn't look positive. We have left, you know what we are? We are an external validating society. We seek external validation through objects, things, technology, people, fake validation, fake attention. And that is why there is so much anxiety, because what did Jesus say? The kingdom of heaven is within you. It's not outside of you. It is within. It is within by being on purpose, by being your own best friend, by not seeking the external validation through others. That's right, Red Deer, Canadian. Well, you got Trudeau. He's a total simp. Okay. PRK is the old where they cut the flap. That's right. Laser does your eye no pain until you get home for one evening. It hurts. What? I'm still thinking about it. I mean, it's when I'm traveling, I'd much rather not have to carry around all that crap. But interesting. I miss my grandfather, good old farm king. I really wasted an opportunity to learn to half the man he was. You know, that generation of men that were born in 1916, 1920, amazing. They worked hard, and they understood their role in society, and the women respected them. Red Deer, been there, brother. Medicine Hat. Red Deer, Alberta is going full COVID Nazi. Ugh. Damn Trudeau, he's a simp. Mr. Sammy is in the house. Always good to see you. But that's reality. I wish that the dating market was a much different world, but it was eventually going to turn out that way. It was eventually, with technology, the dating apps have destroyed relationships. There's so many different ones now. There's one called Coffee Meets Bagel. There's farm. If you're a farmer, you can get on it. If beautiful people, all sorts of weird things, because guess what? And they're all the same people. There's a Jewish dating app. Maybe the Jewish women are better. I don't know. A Jewish dating app. There's a Christian Mingle. Plenty of fish. Brad, what do you recommend for breaking off with a woman who has become attached to the 8-week mark? Let her off slowly. Instead of responding to her today, tomorrow, you're busy. Take a vacation. Take a vacation. Say, I'm going out, I'm going camping this weekend. Get out of cell service. And then just say, hey, I don't see this going anywhere. You're a nice gal, but we got different life tracks. That's what I usually say. Different life tracks. You know? The silent generation was great. Silence speaks volumes. Remember, in negotiation, he who speaks first loses. How can a man be an alpha in business but a beta behind the scenes in a marriage and dating? Happens all the time. See some of the guys I work with in different hospital systems. Very alpha in their business, but total simp. I have no idea. It's almost as though they're playing a role, right? It's a double whammy. Trudeau and Kenya are effing this province over. Oh, they're idiots. Used to go up to the Calgary Stampede. That was great. Had a fun time. Cardston, Lethbridge, Hope Falls, Fernie. Beautiful country, Canada. Salute the RMCP for me. And salute the Queen. eHarmony is for the soy boys. Well, yeah, any guy that's telling some app or what they're looking for, oh, I'm looking for a woman that will be there to hold my hand. I love to watch, rom-coms or romantic comedies. I love Friends. I love watching Ellen. They're all doing that to get some chick to like them. What's a good day or bad day for you? You always seem like you have lots of good days. Every time I see you, it's infectious. Man, just getting up. Today, I always have a great day when I work out and ride, get my energy out. And I'm always happy talking talking to you guys. It's always great. It's always great to hear what's going on. You know? What you guys are seeing in the corner of your world. Lethbridge is the windiest place on earth. Tim Hortons. Exactly. There's a casino in Lethbridge that I went to. You're staying in the Marriott. Was the Marriott or the Hilton? And right next to it was a Tim Hortons. God, there's so many of those. Everywhere. They're like the Dunkin' Donuts of Canada. Is there a lot of ethnic diversity in Utah? Polynesians have a very large percentage of the population. Hispanics? Blacks? No. Indians? No. Asians? Very, maybe 1% to 2%. But the black population, there's this really cool guy. He's this black guy. He's probably 6'6". I think I've talked about him. And he's probably in his mid-50s, in shape. He wears this wife beater. He drives a BMW, wears a do-rag. He always fist bumps me when I see him. And he stops his BMW at the Maverick. The Mavericks are 7-Eleven type. And he's playing like Luther Vandross or, Barry White, some total sexy R&B, Vince Gill, or, who's the other guy? Sexual healing guy. Marvin Gaye. And he gets out, and he's like the token black guy in our town. He's the coolest dude. And he's got the guy's probably nailing really attractive women, but just the coolest guy. But anyhow, not a lot of black people within the state of Utah. Very, very little. Maybe 1% to 2%. I remember when we first moved here, I saw this Indian kid at the high school. We were enrolling my daughter. He was wearing a turban. And I'm like, hey, where's the good Indian food around here? He goes, whoa, funny you should ask. My dad owns Taste of India, which is okay. Not a big fan of it. Kind of like a 4 or 5 restaurant chain. He goes, I'm like, that's great. And all the kids love this 17-year-old with a turban. I love Indians. I think they're amazing. They got great food. They got great culture. But it was just great to see this guy walking around. And now in Oregon, it was everywhere. Oregon had a lot of Indians and Asians because they worked for Intel and Nike. And just a lot, good people. Kept to themselves a lot. But not a lot of diversity here. Or at least North America. What's the vibe? Utah jeans or business? Jeans. It isn't New York out here. Got my passport. See you in Colombia in a few years. We will drink Aguila. Aguila Light. That is their beer, their Budweiser. I will meet you there. Timmy's gotta love Timmy Hortons. How many times should we be switching out cars? 4 to 5 years. Unless it's a Toyota. I drove my Lexus. Bought a Lexus 4 years old in 2005, and I drove it 13 years. Amazing cars. I was a GS300. I'd love to catch a guy who calls himself an alpha watching Lifetime or Hallmark. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Like an alpha is watching either rodeos or he's watching NASCAR or full-on contact sports. Winnipeg is 70% white and 25% ethnic. Makes sense. How many black in the ethnic group? I would consider, like when I went to Vancouver, there's a lot of Chinese in Vancouver. I think they came over from like Taiwan and bought the whole country or the whole city up. Glad you're not in Oregon. I see that it sucks. Well, I'm an Oregonian living in Utah, and I love Utah, but I had to get out at 41. Been here 8 years. Too much of a shit show. It's crazy. Liberal societies crumble. Liberal societies where feminism is the currency crumbles. Democrat liberals are weak. I'm sorry, I gotta say it. Strong men are conservative or libertarian. They are not democratic because Democrats blame and are victims. Remember that. A man that's a Democrat sides with blaming, playing the victim. A conservative doesn't. Conservative builds and creates, invents and maintains. Simple as that. Why did you move to Utah? Better weather, economy. Tired of Oregon. It rained 9 months out of the year. It sucked. I wanted something new. AZ here. It is good. What part of AZ? Mesa? Gilbert? Alpha or not, real men like whatever the hell they want to like. There you go. College presidents are weak. Well, they're part of the system, the democratic system of liberalism. You know, college universities are absolutely liberal, like to no tomorrow. Phoenix, gotcha. Oh, Sky Harbor, I can't stand that airport. Such a pain in the ass. Just getting rental cars. But I love Tempe. Love Tempe. Timmy's down in Tempe. Red Mind Man in the house. Good to see you. Eric Harris is in the house. Look at that youngster. I hear that Oregon is very elitist in the sense they don't want outsiders migrating there. This is coming from my friend's parents who are white Canadian immigrants living in the U.S. Well, when I grew up, you were an Oregonian. Very few migrants or people migrating there. But in maybe 94, 95, saw a lot of Californians moving. And people think they're like, we're an Oregonian. You're not no damn Oregonian. You didn't grow up in the 70s. You don't even know who Bud Clark is. Bud Clark was a president or was a mayor of Portland. He flashed people. He would literally wear a trench coat and flash like statues. The guy was a tweaker. But I skated with his son. What the hell was his son's name? We skate. His dad was the mayor of Portland. It was crazy. But that was back then. There were lumberjacks and weirdos. You know, guys that played hacky sack on the corner, tie-dyed, wear patchouli. You know, women that wore no bras, hairy armpits. That was Oregon. And then you had the lumberjacks with the beards and the flannels. Now it's turned into you had a nice balance of masculine and whacked out dudes and feminine and like really hippie chicks. And now it's turned into a bunch of soy boys, like crybabies, microaggressors. Liberal, socialist, Democrat, communist, and every related forms of thinking are a cancer that should be hunted down and eradicated. We just give them their own country. That's all I say. Flashing statue. You look him up, Bud Clark. B-U-D as Budweiser and Clark. C-L-A-R-K. Nick Clark. That's his son. We used to skate his ramp. Did you ever meet or see Evel Knievel? I never did, but I always wanted to see it. I remember when I was young when he tried to jump the Grand Canyon in the rocket and he broke every damn bone or something. I mean, that guy was balls out. Official CPAs in the house. How can we stop us getting too liberal? It's getting out of hand now. I'm 20. I'm getting worried. Family's getting extinct. I always wanted to have a family. It's too risky. It is too risky. Grow a beard. Swing an axe. Build things with your hands. Why would you want to give the government more money so they can just waste it on stupid art programs? There's some there's some endowment of the arts. I think Trump got rid of that crap where you could go and get $100,000 loan so you could create art with your feces. I mean, that's the kind of bullshit. You're going to give your money? Are we going to give our money to that? They can't even run the post office. The post office has lost money every year since the Pony Express. They can't even run Amtrak, America's first mode of transportation outside of the horse. They can't even run that. They couldn't even run the goddamn stimulus. There's stimulus checks floating around going to deceased people. They cost $2 billion to make a website for Obamacare? And people think the government is doing what's right? We need a strong man in the government. You watch what happens with Putin and Biden. There's pics of him doing it. I told you, Bud Clark. He'd go, whoop, whoop. That was his deal. Whoop, whoop. Just uploaded a video about wanting a family loyal companionship. Check it out. I think the Mr. Fix-It mentality is in a man's DNA. That's why men don't file or try to break up with women first. We want to fix everything, even if it's broken. Think about that. If a relationship's broken, we try to fix it. Sometimes we're pacifists just because we just don't want to create more arguments. But when that breakup happens, we get rejected, we try to fix it. We don't want that investment to go out the window. Makes perfect sense. I tried it with my marriage. Guys try it with their girlfriends. They put a year and a half, 2 years into it. They don't want to see it go away. They have invested. Rad, one of these days, you and I need to meet up downtown SLC. Send me an email. We'll get a gang together and go hang out. Be fun. I think there's a couple other. Philip. Is Raymond Carr in Utah? I think there's like 5 or 6 people. I always wondered how we have to fly to go to other states. This is the U.S. We have resources to have the fastest trains. Well, in trains in Europe and Japan, they got that 500-mile-an-hour bullet train. Exactly. An airliner only goes like 530 miles an hour, and you got to go through all that crap to get on it. Very well said. Are you happy with the taxes in your state? No, they're all right. 5%. 5%. I got a tax increase, I got a salary increase moving here from Oregon. Oregon is extremely high tax, high real estate taxes. There's no sales tax, but everything else is too high. Men and women define loyalty differently. I would agree. Provide and protect our biological imperative. That's why we try to fix it, because losing it is losing part of what makes us tick. Right? We're biologically wired to fix, to protect, to build, to invent. R is in the house. Hey, all. R, you got to tell me where you're from again. I remember you telling me, but I forgot. Who in here watches Bounty Hole Monster Truck Challenges? Bounty Hole Monster Truck. I like monster trucks. I took my kids to one. They loved it. Jumping 15 feet in the air. Or the Boom Boom Hup Jam. I took my boys with motorcycles, jumping and getting gnarly. That's always fun. Do your sisters have their childhood friends around them still? My sister Becky does. Lisa Smith is in the house, all the way from Kansas City, gracing us with her presence. Official CPA, how were Oregon women like when you were growing up? Much different. Much different. People had relationships in the 80s. My sister always had a boyfriend. I had 2 girlfriends in high school. And there was no, I don't think there was any cheating at the time, because we spent all of our time hanging out. She'd come and watch us skate, blah, blah, blah. We'd hang out on the weekends. She probably had the hots for other dudes, but so I had the hots for other chicks. Who cares? In fact, a girl I just met up with from high school a couple years ago, she was like the crush in my high school. And I went out for work, and we went out to dinner and had a great time. And it was like 35 years later, it was just crazy. But it was a different world back then. Different world. That's right, Canada. Coffee Crisp and Mr. Big. And in Canada, they have ketchup flavored chips, which I love. R is a pirate's favorite thing to say. R. Lisa Smith, Kansas City Royals. Monster Truck is also a great Canadian band. They are kind of like Deep Purple. I always liked Grapes of Wrath, too. And who else was from Canada? Grapes of Wrath and... did the singer of Grapes of Wrath die? Or was it the other band? I got to think who the other band was. Sorry, so late. Great to have you. You're right at the source of what's F in the country up, says R, says Lord Spawn. There's a moral versus reality tension for me. The solutions, pump and dump, that MGTOW suggests don't work for me morally, so I'm essentially forced to either compromise. You know, and sometimes it doesn't work for people like that. You know, I would agree. It's not moral because we're not biologically, you know, we're biologically geared to extend our posterity through multiple ways possible. But the morality of it comes into play when it's like, hey, you don't want to be promiscuous and sleeping around. You want someone that you can share your life with. Makes perfect sense. But the risks seem to be very risky. The rewards, the ROI, just doesn't seem to be there. And I agree with that. And I think other guys agree with that too. Your vid today was bang on. Ketchup chips. Oh, I love ketchup. I remember when I was 11 years old, I was in Boy Scouts and we went to the Bowen Lakes up in Canada, way the hell up in British Columbia. Beautiful country. Oh my gosh. And we would get off at the store and we'd buy the root beer, like A&W root beer, and it would be in 2 languages, French and English. And we'd save the bottles. We're like, oh, this is so cool. We've never seen this. You know, the whole French thing. But, and that's when I first tasted salt and vinegar and ketchup chips and coffee crisps. Coffee crisp is just like a Kit Kat with a little bit extra coffee flavor. MGTOW Cowboy from the big city of big shoulders. From the Bears. As a young guy, I'm super intrigued by life in the 80s and 90s and how it was like. I can hear you all day with the stories. Please dedicate a live. Oh, we should do that. That would be fun. Look up Max Headroom. Who knows who Max Headroom is? I know it's a strange country right now. Canadian Benz, April Wine, Trooper Rush, and Brian Adams. Guess who were the biggest? Guess who are from Winnipeg? Randy Bachman. Bachman Turner Overdrive after the Guess Who. Very well. What's the other band I'm thinking? It's not the Grapes of Wrath. It's something else. Dang it. They were big too. I love those guys. I do listen to Eddie Trunk. I like his interviews with, he did an interview with Ace Frehley about Vinnie Vincent. You know, Vinnie Vincent is a transgendered now. Well, our very own Kenny is doing his tarded fair share. Oh, that's funny. I believe a strong family is the future, but be careful starting one with the current deal. Yes. Be very, 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 very careful. Did you ever have your scouts, kids in scouts? I did. My middle boy is an Eagle Scout. I'm an Eagle Scout. My youngest is only a Star Scout. I don't know if he'll continue. But it was a very good program for me growing up. Loved it. Mint Aereos. Those were good too. The Aereo. That was a funky candy bar. Rad I'm just wondering why I don't get notifications. Because this was just off the cuff. I had some things to say. I rode my bike today up the hill and I had something to say. Just about dating in today's world. Rad, have you ever tried French Canadian poutine? No. How is it? Do the live start from 85 to 99. Really? I was 12 years old at that time. The Tragically Hip. That's what I'm talking about. That's it. Good for you. Was it the Grapes of Wrath singer that died or the Tragically Hip? Who else from Canada? New Pornographers? Stars? Memphis? The Deers? I like the Deers. They kind of sound like a Morrissey Smith combo. I just found your channel today and subscribed to MGTOW Cowboy. Thanks for your sharing. I like your video about the desire doesn't go away. Am I subscribed to your channel, MGTOW Cowboy? I think I am. There it is. Mysterio gets it. Tragically Hip. I like those guys. Max Headroom of the Digital Head. Max Headroom. Old school. I'm talking, if you know who Max Headroom is, he was the first digital avatar. How about this? MTV, Kurt Loder, Martha Quinn. How is Bud's daughter, Rachel? Did you ever meet her? Nope, never met her. Only Nick. Wasn't Motorhead the originator of the Sandman song? Enter the Sandman? You might be right. It's too bad Lenny's gone. Lenny Wilkinson. Do you think Ace and Peter's replacement and Kiss should have had different names and different makeup? I don't know. You know, Kiss is just an enterprise of entertainment. They're not a band. The music is just a vehicle. Their whole entertainment is amazing. I saw Kiss in 2010 with Buck Cherry, and these guys were in their late 60s, and they were still killing it. It was amazing entertainment to watch Kiss. They literally just created their own genre. Their music, I mean, my favorite song by Kiss is Detroit Rock City. How can you not like Detroit Rock City? But most of their stuff sucks. Well, I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, but it's not compared to like Rival Sons. Like, there's a lot more talent, but they realized we could be the McDonald's. We don't have to have a really good hamburger, hence music. We could provide a great experience, and that's what they did. So hats off to them. You know, Bryan Adams is Canadian. Summer of '69, baby. The Hip, Tragically Hip. Those guys were great. Yeah, I saw you over there. Good to have you, sir. Okay, good. Oh, what are you talking about? Max Headroom. Max Headroom was great. Oh my gosh. I remember going to the arcade. We're getting off course here. And getting tokens. You get 5 tokens for $1. It was 28 cents a token. Unless you did it like quarter for quarter. And we would play, like, my favorite game was Russian Attack. You guys remember Russian Attack? I love Galaga. But I remember when Pac-Man came out. Oh my gosh, Pac-Man was great. But Russian Attack, when they're on the train and you're jabbing them with the what's the knife on the end of the gun. I would love Dig Dug. And then what about Skater 720? What do you think about Green Day? I like them. I liked them way before they were big with Dookie. Before that, they were massively punk. Enter Sandman. You're right. Brad, you were born in 72. 72. We grew up in the 80s more than the 70s. Correct. Correct. Why is it that the feminist mothers take better care of their daughters and their sons? What is the difference? David Castro, I wasn't raised by a feminist mother, so I don't know the answer to that. But I'm assuming they connect somehow. And I don't think that girl that was raised by a feminist mother will have amazing relationships. Metallica did a remix, which sounded better, though. Saw Metallica in '89. They're great. Kiss the McDonald's of rock and roll. Yes, they are. They provide a great experience. Thank you. I saw her the other day, and the gut punch of adrenaline didn't hit me, taking it one day at a time, and it's slowly improving. Good for you. Slow and sure. Slowly. The lead singer of the Hip died of brain. That's right. I thought it was Grapes of Wrath. I have been getting a lot of older men, married women lately that want to use me for an affair. I tell them no. Good for you, Dark Minds. Never get with a married woman. Buck Cherry. I was just listening to them today. Crazy Biatch, Lit. I got some good stuff. Actually, they just came out with one like a week ago. It's pretty good. Off our new one. But I saw them. They were pretty good. They were really good. Band from Anaheim. Holy Old School Gaming. Bayonet, that's what I'm talking about. Dig Dug. You guys remember Dig Dug? Pinball Game, Centaur, while too much time on my hands on the jukebox. Brad's divorce was a gift. Sorry that the kids had to go through it. Still a gift for us. Well, that's what we're sharing with each other. You know, that's the reality. We've got to make it through life. And it's no better to make it through life than to share with each other's experiences and talk to folks about what the reality of dating is in 2021, what the reality of getting married is, what the reality of finding a great woman is. I didn't say all women are bad. I said 1% to 2% are probably decent women. Right? Maybe it's up to 5%. But I'm just saying, the ROI, I just can't see it unless I found someone that's 1% to 2%. But I'm so into hanging out and doing my thing that, it'd have to be an amazing woman. Do they exist? Probably. What do you think about Billy Joe Armstrong's guitar skills? I think he's great. I think the drummer's amazing. I think that whole band is great. But they've gone a little bit too mainstream for me. I enjoyed playing Wacko when I was younger. I used to love Green Day. Check out their side band called Pinhead Gunpowder and Foxborough Hot Tubs. In fact, these are the two bands that they started kind of off the Green Day, and they would play small clubs, and everyone figured out they were Green Day. Foxborough Hot Tubs and Pinhead Gunpowder are their names. Philip DeSaro, I loved Asteroids and Donkey Kong. Great video games. Philip, all the way from Utah. Donkey Kong was my favorite. I loved it. And Donkey Kong Jr. Blaster Master on NES, going old school. Yep. Have cancer, I would agree with that. Outrun Super. Choplifter. Well, you guys are going old school. When do you think a woman knows her sexual wiles are fading away from her? Probably later in life. I would say 35. Depends if she takes care of herself. Blaster Master on NES was epic. Rygar was a great video game in the 80s. Ooh, I haven't heard that name for a long time. I had a married woman recently offered to me that if she ever had a divorce, she would have a major slut phase and probably break tons of heart. God, that is a very classic. A lot of women, when they go through the divorce, they go through the divorce fog, which is basically what you're talking about. When she has to start buying her own drinks at the bar. Yeah, maybe you're right. I sensed that she was feeling me out to see if I would have a fling with her. Never, ever get with a married woman. We used to have lawn darts before they were outlawed. Did you play croquet as well? Remember croquet? Lawn darts were great. My dad had a set. Is your YT YouTube single Mega Man? Okay, that's you guys talking. The ROI is very low on women these days. Just a date feels like a military exercise in a painful way. Mysterio, around age 30, she knows they are fading. Yep. It's sad, you know? You wish that people found a way to be in a committed relationship where each of you respected each other. Yeah, you're going to have ups and downs, you know, but that's it. Ms. Pac-Man, Jimbo 70 Jr. in the house. Good to have you. ColecoVision. How about Sega, Coleco, NES? And what is that? NES became Nintendo. Atari. ColecoVision. Haven't heard that for a while, Art. Remember my friend, his dad was a dentist at Coleco. I think that was the more expensive game system back then. Was that with Hedgehog? No, that's Sega. Contra in two-player mode. The only video games I play are like NES because there's 2 buttons and like a little control. I can't do this new crap, man. My son's got these like controller. I'm like, what the hell is that button? Oh, you got to press A, B, and this one on the side, this one on the top, and you got to move your control. Nah, screw that crap. Now I'm just gonna pedal my bike, you know, unless we play Mario Brothers or you know, the best game ever, Tetris, 4 buttons. You can play it in your sleep. Croquet, I remember croquet, sending the other guy's ball out of oblivion. We used to play that at night in the summers all the time in the 80s. And what else did you do? And you'd sleep in the backyard in a tent. You'd have s'mores, and then you know. That's what you do. You play croquet and just hang out. Skateboard at night, go back in the tent, and you're done. There was no TV. We didn't even have cable back in the days. And we had to wait to watch MacGyver in the A-Team. Friday nights. And then, remember the specials? Remember the Christmas specials? 2 or 3 days, a week before Christmas, you could see, you know, Frosty with Burl Ives and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and The Christmas Story. You had to wait. They would make a special. Guys, you kids have no idea what you have today. That's just a woman telling you she's a sex object without telling you she is a sex object. The divorce fog is the truth. We have the Coleco with the Atari port. Contra for NES was amazing. I can see the desperation in 40s women's eyes. Yeah, there's a lot. I'm telling you. But there's a delusion as well. Donkey Kong was on ColecoVision. I remember that. She was definitely filling me out to see if I wouldn't bite. I just went into a gray rock mode. Guess what? She's a hairstylist. Hairstylists are notorious for cheating. Why? Because I hung out with a couple of them. I put on my Facebook, Raw Rose in the house. J-Lo sure moved on fast. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. She probably moved on before that. I bet they were emailing each other a year ago. And you know what? A-Rod's a simp, man. Come on, dude. You're 44 with a 51-year-old. I mean, at least Ben Affleck, they're like close in age, and they had a past history. Great. He's still living in the fantasy, though. The reality, J-Lo's got kids. He's got kids. They both got exes. They both have past history. But come on, A-Rod, 44? Dude, come on. You got to be hitting a 30-year-old. NES rules for me, Coleco was considered elite back in the day. I think you're right. No, that's the Blaster Master Pilot went on foot mode on Dungeon Crawling. We should just have a topic of 80s video games. Golf or tennis. Tennis. Now it's TikTok and mind-numbing BS. Yeah, I cannot believe people sit and watch TikTok all day. Really? Some guy's eating his food and then he like falls over on a chair. That's cool. Or all these women that have huge thighs doing some CrossFit exercise. Street Fight 2, the greatest of all time. You might be top 10. Dark Minds, top 10. What do you think of the new skateboards? Well, it depends. If they're old skateboards, not the new popsicle sticks, the board has to have some shape. I typically like a 33-inch length, 8 3/4 wide with a nice square nose or a square tail. I don't like the same homogeneous board. We spent a lot of nights chasing fireflies and camping out. Fireflies. I remember those days. See, that's what you did. Now what do? It's all Netflix. Crazy. Their hairstyles are a special type of object. Women, I love beautiful hair on women. I'm telling you, that's an aphrodisiac. They look good. You're supposed to. Men are supposed to be attracted to beauty in the women. Female friend wrote in regards to J-Lo moving on so fast, when you got it, you can date whoever the hell you want and change them like you change undies. Well said. The damn Dreamcast games. You guys are killing me. My friend's ex was a hairstylist and we suspected that she cheated. Nurses as well. Mine was a nurse. TikTok is a literal proof that people are getting dumber. Watch Idiocracy as well. WPM, wow, howdy Rad, busy working on financing degree. Good for you. Hope to get my CPA license. Stay focused, stay cool in the Utah heat, bro. You too. Do you think we are addicted to digital entertainment, kind of like how the world of play? Yes, 100%. Street Fight 2, Tekken, and Mortal Kombat. Look at you guys go. The thing about TikTok I can stand is the self-obsessed narcissism. The delusion. Just the attention. Did people not see that, or is it just me? You have to get on and shake your booty for attention. It's weird. Redheads, I do enjoy redheads. I like attractive women that take care of themselves and that are feminine. A massage therapist, well, there you go. Idiocracy makes me laugh so hard I cry. It's a great story. That's where we're headed, guys. Shiesty demon. Women emotionally check out while you think everything is fine. That's how they're able to move on like it's nothing. They checked out way before that. Their brains are very different than ours. But they typically come back within 2 to 3 years, or they will always come back. Either breadcrumb you or they want your attention. Don't bathe in dirty water. Martin's journey, best revenge, is excellent at life. Well said. I beat resentment, took NCLEX, and just got a nursing license. Now to fight for custody. You are taking the power back. Well done, my friend. In my naive days, I thought I lucked out. You never know. Soon our phones will be typing back, get a life. Or AI will eat us all up like corn dogs with mustard. Redheads are peak female beauty. I have seen some very gorgeous redheads. I still think Nicole Kidman is very attractive. Well, haven't seen her in a while, but I like that sort of redhead. Speaking of moving on fast, it took me 5 years to move on from my first true love. It took her 5 days. It didn't take her 5 days. It took her 5 seconds. You're too nice to her, MGTOW Cowboy. What's the best, worst thing about the weather in Utah? And what about the bugs? A lot of mosquitoes. I'm used to the weather. It can get hot. It can get real cold. But they're good with the winter roads. 7 years when COVID screws up her life. Twitter is the world's bathroom wall. Don't mess around. That's well said. I like that. It is a shit show. People hide behind their monikers. You know what's funny? I don't have a problem with guys out there talking about what we talk about, and they don't show their face. Some can't do it just because of work or potential calamities. I fortunately can do it, and I believe that people that put themselves out there are legit. Not to say those others aren't legit. It's just I like to put a face to me. That's just me. But Twitter, you don't need a face, right? You can just say whatever the hell you want. You're right about great hair on women. I knew a sex-crazy, blue-eyed blonde real estate who had 80s hair bands hair. God, those 80s haircuts, I remember, man. Aquanet. Julianne Moore is hot, too. Well said. I love my Yoshi's Island on Nintendo, but I can't also put it on ice when I want to. That skill I want to do to women as well. Tom Likas, put them on ice. Advice for growing older alone versus in a relationship. Peace. Peace. The goat owners will be millionaires. And so will the HVAC and plumbers and electricians. Well said, Ghost Princess. Good to have you. How can a man impress a woman in her 30s when she has lived her best life in her 20s? You never want to impress a woman. Number one, she should impress you. You are the prize. You are the mystery. If you try to impress a woman, she is on a pedestal and she will disrespect you. They know, they have a sixth sense when some guy's trying hard. Remember the tryhards? What a tryhard? That's the impression. You don't need to impress anybody except be you. Sandman can't show his face on YouTube. Yep. And I agree. Some people can't. Twitter needs those graffiti bathroom wall rhymes. For a good time, call Beth. What's up, Rad? Last week, my cousins cornered me and kept asking me, when are we going to get nieces and nephew? I told them they could adopt, and they froze. Sick Vlad, laying it down to Chinatown. Good for you. Lux in the house, Mr. Boss. Good to have you. Neither can TFM. Is TFM even around anymore? Aquanet, I had a lot of that in my teens. You wore Jordache, Genera, Guess, Esprit. What's the one shoe? K-Swiss. Did you have K? No, I bet you had. Lisa Smith. I bet you had Jack Purcell's. Is it Jack Purcell's from Converse? No one is really alone unless you live off the grid by yourself. I agree. Carl's in the house. If you thought 2020 was bad, hold my beer. We are in for an interesting next 6 months. Dating in 2021, become a gray man, wear jeans and a t-shirt, don't shave, drive a Rusty, and socialize with like minds if you're lucky enough to have those around. Don't flash the money. Be extremely mysterious. Verbal kill shot confirmed. Nice comeback on that one. They could adopt. Why don't they? Slick Vlad, laying it down to Chinatown. Or just say, hey, show me where the well of unicorns are. That'll stop them. Slayer is good. Same with Megadeth. I tried to get on BitChute. They didn't upload my damn video, so I went through the whole rigmarole. MGTOW Absolute Knowledge. Yo, just tune in. All right, brother. Good to have you. TFM is huge on BitChute and MGTOW TV. They kicked him out. Didn't they kick him off YouTube? Stack money. If you chase after one of these D-jugglers, you deserve to be penniless. Chase excellence. Chase your purpose. That's where you're going to find the most peace and the most, success in your life. Nobody's alone. Everybody's lonely except the ladies. I think a lot of ladies are lonely too. The reality is we're supposed to be with people, but the ROI just doesn't seem there. If you go swimming, I used to go swimming a lot, helped my back like 10, 15 years ago. I had some Calvin Klein jeans and some Sperry topsiders in high school. I haven't heard Sperry topsiders. I remember and those are the original topsiders. None of this fake. They were expensive. I had some Hush Puppies. Calvin Klein's. Remember the Brooke Shields Calvin Klein's ad? I know one guy who just tells people, don't ask me why I have not found a good woman. Show me a good woman, I will certainly date her. And then he just waits for them to reply. Show me the unicorn. And Facebook. We call it fake book. I still remember the taste of Aquanet in my mouth was like a shot of antiperspirant. That's what I get for trying to bathe her neck like a lizard. So did I, man. And just rubbing your hand through that crunchy, curly, long hair with Aquanet. Lip gloss. Remember the lip gloss, the girl? You kiss him? The lip gloss? Do you carry cash or card when you're out and about? Both. Usually under $50 in cash, and I do carry my card. Big tech even chased away Graham Allen. Jeez. Not crazy. If somebody cannot introduce you to a good woman, it's just a dick move to ask, why aren't you married with kids? Like, how dumb are people today? Ghost Princess, really dumb. I hate to break it to you. Humanity is turning into dummies. How are you surviving on YouTube and Donovan gets his channel's fame? I don't know, man. I mean, the only time I got strikes is because I put music in the, it was a copyright violation. It's not a strike, but they didn't take the videos down. So I don't know. My ex checked out emotionally about 3 years prior to officially telling me we're done. I did notice that she was different, but at the time it never occurred to me that it was code, that I'm on my way out. I think mine told me around year 8, but didn't leave till year 17. So yeah, it was coming. When women become virtuous, then I'll come back to the table. Again, there's probably 1% to 2%. I just haven't found them. Oh God, that made me cringe, says Lord Spawn. How much do you pay for jeans? For me, 20 to 30 coin max. I buy my jeans at Levi's.com or Nordstrom Rack. I wear 511s. It's the only brand of Levi's I wear. It's not too skinny and not too wide. And I love how they fit. I don't like 501s or they fit my jewels too tight. But 511s, typically I will spend 30 to 40 to get them on sale. Typically they're what, $80? Yeah, 30 to 40. Sometimes I'll get them for 24 on a Black Friday. But those are my jeans I wear. The best part is they didn't have a shaming response that day. They didn't. I remember lip gloss. Girls made me throw out a few pairs of jeans over that. I'm telling you, man, I got to tell stories about my 80s with my first girlfriend. Oh, that was just amazing. That first kiss. Oof. Man, the dopamine, the friggin' chemicals rushing through. Nothing better. Aquanet all over my face, could care less. I mean, I arrived, man. I won the marathon that day with Gina Walker. First girlfriend, Gina Walker. YouTube deletes people like the Clinton famine, large waves, and specific targets. Our time comes nigh upon us for the heads, man. I agree. You know what? And if this channel gets taken down, it gets taken down. And I hope the people that it helped, because it's helped me, and we move forward. But I still have my Gmail, Rebel Against Defeat at Gmail. I watched Coach Greg Adams, and he mentioned that there's no white privilege, but family privilege. Big government is destroying families. I totally agree with CGA. Dark Minds. I was hoping for the visceral reaction. It's burned into my brain for sure. Because Donovan Shard is too opinionated and controversial. Is he taken down? I thought he's still up. I thought he's still going. Welcome to Costco. I love you. Would you be willing to entertain a criticism I have of MGTOW? Absolutely, as long as you're respectful. But it might be disagree or agree. Welcome to Costco. Are you female or male? And where are you from? Who can find a virtuous wife, for her worth is far above rubies? They are very rare. Paul in Corinthians said they were rare 2,000 years ago. Remember how they responded in what you said? A trait of simpletons is to repeat arguments over and over again. So just repeat yours back. They will have the same speechless. Well said. I was in junior high when John Lennon was assassinated. Me too. Every other kid was carrying a boombox and jamming Beatles songs during lunch and passing periods. Strange day of our youth. Remember when the Challenger blew up? Christy McAuliffe, she was the teacher on the Challenger. I was in 7th grade, Mr. Basir's class. He was a total hippie. But yeah, those are interesting days. I remember when Elvis died, I was young. I think he died in 77, and my mother was crying hysterically. And I just remember her saying, Elvis died, Elvis died. But yeah, that's crazy stuff, you know. My favorite Beatles song, Can't Buy Me Love. I used to use Aquanet to fuel a spud gun potato gun. Nice. I'd love to see a video. That'd be great. Men's fashions are simple. Women's are a cash grab. If you want to invent a business, sell to women. I knew a Gina in grammar school. She was cute. Oh, Gina Walker. She was a year younger. And woo, the chemicals through my brain, in my bloodstream, every fiber of my hair. I was just like amazing. First girl I ever kissed. Out of control good. I mean, she had braces. And, you know, my skin was tore up. I could care less. My tongue was probably bleeding. We didn't even know how to French kiss. We were trying. I think she probably kissed a guy before me, and it was just remember that like it was nobody's business. Ellen DeGenerate, 100%. Other than Donovan Sharp's monetizing male to male, I like his stuff. He should team up with Crowder. You know, in the past he's got some good stuff. I mean, again, it's the messenger. Are you going to shoot the messenger or the message? I think his channel has a different audience than mine, and if you like him, great. If you don't, great. People don't like me. Haven't thought of that. We use Coleman gas fuel to send tennis balls flying. Do you guys ever do dry ice bombs? We did those. Is that a religious quote? I think that's not to me. Sharp is a fraud, Kurt Shamrock says. He definitely has some things to answer to. That's interesting. Yep. There's a lot of videos that talk about that. Well, I won't even get into it. You know, his audience is his audience, and those that seek his advice, they're going to seek his advice. Those that want true advice where you don't have to pay for it, where somebody freely wants to help others, is the channels I like to see. You know, Hammerhand, Coach Greg Adams. I mean, obviously, you know, he has got a book and everything, and he deserves to get paid for his book. You know, he puts a lot of effort in that show. But Sandman, same thing. Best username I ever saw was 7 pink throbbing inches of Jesus. Woo! Who has more levels of dopamine in their systems? Men are, you know what? I think it depends on the relationship. In the beginning, I think women, and then maybe a couple weeks into it, men. That's my favorite theory. Don't give up when you get censored. Keep making channels anyway after the censorship wave ends. Rad. I have lost 3 channels. My first had over 7,000. Keep hitting the walls of the echo chamber. Thank you for your encouragement. I don't think that's a wrong statement whatsoever, Carl. Monkey Brancher and D-Jugglers, that's going to one of my new series. 1986 Challenge Disaster. How about this? Dodge Demon. Dodge Demon. 879 Demon. It's a Bible verse from Proverbs. There you go. What age did you get into rock and roll? 7th grade, when I was introduced to the cult by my friend, neighbor that was 3 years older than me, Tim Woloshin. The cult. It's impossible to logically debunk MGTOW only fallacious arguments. MGTOW has so many different connotations, all sorts of things. But basically, men are putting themselves on the pedestal if you think about it. Gina Gershon. Oh, she was hot back in the day. I knew Christy's cousin. I grew up with her. She was my teacher. We had a poster of the Challenger blowing up in her class. She said it reminded her that life is meant to be lived for family and God. Well said. Only if we could get back to that era. X-Blind inside of me and Monkey Branch. I said, I thought I was different. She said I was, but look at everything you did to me. They're all the same. They wear a mask. The majority are like that. Hey, Walt, have you ever run a hot dog stand? Oh, you're killing me. No, but I made hot dogs for my Boy Scout troop. That was when it was 95% quality, 5% harlots. Now it has switched. The script has flipped. MGTOW absolute knowledge. I like you, Rad. You are pretty rad. The man with no name is in the building. Good to have you. Moving furniture or painting to make big coin. Painting, few and far between. Furniture, more consistent. If I would be a mover. I'm a man, it seems MGTOW takes a sour grapes approach to women. Like if you can't get a girl, it doesn't matter because they're not worth it anyways. I am not, I go short term only. I don't know how many times you see my channel, but I do not believe in LTRs, marriage, cohabs. I'm short term. Now, if that 1% to 2% of women popped in my life, I might be considered with precaution. There are men that are very sour on women, and that's okay. We accept that here. We accept what they've been through. We also accept monk mode. We also accept whatever you want to do that makes you happy as a man. We don't. My whole vision is not, my whole thinking is we do not hate women. We try to understand female nature so that we can build a great life, putting ourselves first and foremost. When a man puts a woman center and on a pedestal, suffering begins. So, I think women are beautiful. There are men that hate women, absolutely, that consider themselves MGTOW. Nothing you can do about it. Now, MGTOW is just for me putting myself forward. It's me going my own way and saying, you know what? I'm not going to put a woman central. I already did that. Now, if she pops in my life down the road, 10 years, 15 years, I find that 1% to 2% unicorn that lives in like some area of the world that is untouched by technology, great. But the reality is where I live, the ROI just doesn't seem to be there. So, but I appreciate the comment, absolutely. She burnt the coal and paid the toll. I don't get into channel versus channel. It's so middle school, very female. Yeah, you know what? Just different channels. I used to watch some of them. I just don't. Just a different story, you know? Aguia Espiritual, welcome. I don't monetize my channel. I don't want to sell videos and media. I like talking to people and making videos for fun. It's enjoyable for me to talk to people. I always said I would never, ever monetize this channel. And they're throwing ads on my damn channel. I think they're doing it because they changed the terms and conditions. They can just put ads wherever they want. Ridiculous. So if you see an ad, I didn't put it there. You have to go through a monetization process to even be considered monetized. I never did that. They want to balkanize and destroy families through easy marriage and easy divorces, child support to destroy men, promoting single motherhood as a lifestyle, child services to take away your kids. Coach Greg Adams probably already has a good base of income besides his content. I think so. I think he's got some good stuff. And by the way, Mr. Sammy, you're absolutely right. Lisa Smith, I remember when the space shuttle blew up, 86. I think I was in elementary when Elvis died and the U.S. bicentennial the year before. Love to all Gen Xers in here, and ditto to you. The Dodge Demon, man. Actually, King Solomon had something like 700 wives. I think they were just as many slores back then. Well, Abraham had tons of wives too, right? Who has 332K? Rad does. High five. I got 3,300. I love it. People sharing with each other. Glad to see you too, AI Transform. Rad, what are you pulling? What age are you pulling the ripcord and moving? 2 years. I don't know if I'm going to move. I might get in a van. Come visit you on the East Coast. Dry ice bombs for the shit. Put a silver sliver of dry ice with water in a 7-Up bottle. 90 seconds later, blew the crap out of it. We used to put them in the dumpsters in college. And the security would come racing like they thought it was some explosion. Man, that's the shit. Dry ice bombs, but I don't recommend it, man. You go to jail for that now. Have you heard of the retardation of MSTOW, men sent their own way? I have not, but that sounds interesting. That's what status, resources, and power will get you. He could have been hideous for all we know. Absolutely. I got into rock and roll 84 Van Halen, the Police, Def Leppard. I think I was 84. Yeah, I think when Van Halen Jump came out, I was at 6th grade. The first rock tape I got was The Cult. What do you think of Def Leppard? Love Def Leppard. You kidding me? You can't sing anymore, but man, they were great in the day. Pyromania. What was before Pyromania? On Through the Night, right? What's the old saying? She didn't change. She got tired of acting. Haven't heard that one. I used to work with an architect that gave up his career, moved to Savannah, and sells hot dogs for 7 months out of the year, makes good money under the table and stress-free. Probably loves his, yeah, why not? Get a little food cart. Brad, what do you do when you bang a random nasty and she instantly thinks she's your girlfriend? Well, I don't bang a random nasty. I'm pretty particular. But a lot of them want to change me into their boyfriend and girlfriend. I tell them very upfront. I'm very upfront, and they always know. They're like, "Do you believe in love?" No. Why? Just chemicals. We get the same love from a hot dog. Number two, I'm not interested in marriage or cohabitation or any sort of long-term relationship. Let's just take it a day at a time, which basically means, I think the longest I hung out was like 8 to 9 weeks, and then it just didn't work. The logistics don't work. The dopamine wears off. We're just different life tracks. I want to move to South America or Colombia or Mexico for a spell and come back here and mountain bike. A lot of women don't want to do that. They want to be grandmas, which is fine for them. The sour grapes thing is certainly true for women. I frequent the feminist forum, even though I'm not a feminist, and they absolutely have that. Like MGTOW, it's the same thing. Interesting. There's two sides, right? That 1% unicorn lives in a remote village in a third world country somewhere. Let's find it. We can find it, MGTOW Absolute. You're not alone. I was blindsided in Monkey Branch too. It's actual evil and sinister. She knew it was wrong because when I tried to expose to her, she shouted me down and not let me talk. Mine was very emotional. She believed nothing was wrong. Okay, I'm going to respect that. My logical brain did not believe that same way. MGTOW is about hard-learned lessons. I would agree. Have you ever been to Disney and did you like it? I like Disneyland in Anaheim. It's the only place. Oh, actually, I did go to Disney World. But I like the Anaheim one better. Disneyland World seemed too big. I used to hopelessly be in lust with Joe Elliott, Elliot. I went to more Def Leppard than any other band in the 80s. How about 1987 with the Hysteria tour? When they played Oregon, it was triple sold out. Pour Some Sugar on Me. Get the extended remix. Love that song. Is that not bumping sexuality in that song? That was a good song. They can put ads on every channel. They can demonetize you and put ads and make money. It's an evil. I agree. YouTube is wacko. Do you miss being married? Was the juice worth the squeeze? I'm 28, never married, and was engaged with. There's certain aspects of marriage that were okay. There's certain aspects. Kids were great about it. But no, it's challenging. It takes a lot of work. And I don't think people are cut out for it. Dodge Demon outperforms exotic cars like Lamborghini and the Bugatti. Lamborghini is just a picture of a bull. They're cool to look at, but they only last 20,000 miles, and you need a brand new engine for $100,000. Denzel or Sam Jackson? Denzel, brother. I also think MGTOW content denies our true nature. We want to lay with and love women. I don't disagree with that, brother. Doesn't matter how much content we consume, we will always long for that. You're speaking my language. If you have a desire to lay with a woman, so be it. That's other channels that say don't do that. I'm all about you find a way to, if you're into dolls and waifus, great. If you're happy about life, if you want an electronic replica, great. If you have peace in your life because of what way you choose, and you're respectful and don't hurt anybody else, I'm cool with that. Rick Springfield, Jesse's girl, of course, brother. Was soft drink Coke derived from powder Coke, like cocaine? Yes, in the early days they were. Why can't we go back to Curtis Mayfield and maybe some Sly and the Family Stone? Good and Simple Times. And JJ from Good Times. Hope you understand I'm not trolling. I just think that it's important to have introspection. Hey, I don't think you're disrespectful at all. MGTOW means different things to different people. And the reality is this, if you're putting yourself on purpose, you are part of the MGTOW world. Men going their own way. That doesn't mean men going their own way to avoid women. That doesn't mean men going their own way to not be with women. That doesn't mean men are going their own way to want to be with women. It means what you choose it to be to bring you peace and happiness and put you as the man first is the key. Married men should be asked, what do you want? As opposed to married women, what do they want? At least from what I see and hear. Well said. I don't understand why feminists doesn't take any blame on everything they do wrong. Accountability, my friend. 1 to 2% of women will take accountability. The majority won't. And I'm sure there's men that won't take accountability. Diamond in the back, Curtis Mayfield. How many bikes do you have for riding? Do you have bikes for? I have 3 bikes, but I ride my Santa Cruz because it's fast and I know the ins and outs of it like nobody's business, Mysterio. I prefer Down and Dirty Def Leppard than glammed up band they are now, but I still love them. You like Pyromania. Best, my favorite song off Pyromania is not Rock of Ages. It's Foolin' and Too Late for Love. It's about tinny feelings and not lifelong vows to our biological changes and hardships and sicknesses as human beings. Well said. Some people say your brain tends to only remember the good memories from relationships and shut out the bad. That is 100% true. My brain basically only remembers the bad. Most people, the brain is actually geared to go back to baseline, and that's why no contact works if you're trying to get an X back, because it's called, what is it called? I have to figure out the name of it. It's called, it's on the tip of my tongue. I'll figure it out. But the brain begins to remove the negative and only focus on the positive. I bring 10 out of 10 chicks for about 100. There's some beta out there selling a song for that same biatch. Big to absolute knowledge. Men and women need to understand that marriage is about duty, not about happiness. That's what I would agree. It's not easy, guys. Redman, me too. Rick Springfield and Steven Tyler look super young for early 70. You know who looks young? Sammy Hagar. He's the same age as Bill Clinton. That guy has enjoyed his life being on purpose. Suzanne Fleming in the house all the way from Florida. Anyone with common sense agrees with the red pill. Truth. Hi, Suzanne. You guys have a good day. You get your housewife stuff done. Good for you. We'll see you soon. To whoever disagrees, Jason, please sleep. And playing the game is a zero-sum game. On the good side, you get laid. On the bad side, you lose resource and potential mental stability. I want to go no contact with my ex for eternity. I thought about that. I got kids. I eventually will hear from her. Anyone who denies why MGTOW spread like wildfire is like someone denying the coronavirus didn't start in a lab. Absolutely. This has been great, you guys. It's been 2 hours. I got to stand up. Rebel against defeat. Chase excellence. Masculinity. Men first. And remember, dating is risky in today's world. Good night.